focusing on the negative versus focusing on the positive. Focusing on what things are going to get us results, what things are going to get us to a position where we improve, not all the things that just sort of noise that distracts us. And there's so much of that in life with anything. With OCD, there's tons of that, because what you find is you are specifically looking at everything that you think's a door that's shut on you to you getting better. So let's look at some things. Ones that you always hear. This is how a lot of sessions start. This is how a lot of group calls start. People start with things like, I'm such and such age, I can never get better. I've been stuck for 20, 30 years. There's no chance of me ever recovering. My OCD is different to everyone else. I have so many compulsions. I'm never going to break them down. What the hell's going on with my hair in this Instagram? I have to accept this. Leave it there as an exposure. And I think what happens is people are they're so fixated on looking at all the doors shut around them, all the things that are stopping them from getting better and have held them back in the past. There's so many. Like, for example, in my own journey, when I was stuck with contamination OCD, it was so bad. I thought, how am I ever going to get out of this? The compulsions were so bad. I thought, I must be a rare case. It shouldn't be this level. And so I was always looking for why I'm the worst case, why I'm different, why I'm stuck and never going to recover, why my situation is so much worse than other people's situations. Length of time was another one. I've been stuck for, why didn't I find this sooner? Why have I only found this now? Why didn't I find this when I was 21? Well, I did find it when I was 21. I found out that I had OCD around 21, but I had no idea that it could manifest in your head without an external physical compulsion. So therefore, I missed so much of what was going on. I thought the so-called, the term that I try and get rid of now in the OCD community, the pure OCD, is just normal OCD with mental rumination and thoughts and fears in our head. I thought that was treatment resistant, something you couldn't stop, because I couldn't see how there's no exposures I could think of that you could do to get out of it. So I thought, well, this one has found its way around all the physical compulsions that I was doing. So I'd stopped all of those externally. So I thought, well, how can you target things happening in your head alone? How can you expose to that? So that for me was like, that felt sort of, just didn't seem like there was ever a way out of that. So then that went on for years like that, because I had no idea of how to deal with that. I didn't have the tools like today. Because like I said, and when I've often spoken about forums in the OCD community, the forums online with them were horrendous. I mean, obviously I'm going to speak very highly of our Facebook group, because it's something that I've spent a long time building with our team to be a place where there's no reassurance, really focused on recovery, really optimistic place for improving the OCD recovery journey, so people don't stay stuck forever. Not negative, just no ends of sort of negative stories and no end of reassurance cycle going on. I didn't want it to be a place like that. So because of that, what then happened was, when in my time there wasn't that. There was just, I went in those forums at times and I used to say, oh, I'm suffering from this kind of harm, real event OCD and so on. And they just used to always say things like, oh, that one I've been stuck with for 20 years or something like that. You've just got to learn to live with that. And it was terrible, because you just couldn't see a way out, because everyone was so negative and no hope. And so that's why everything that we did, we wanted to be seriously about recovery. We didn't want it to be a place where it was just no ends of hopeless stories, and that's why we spent so long making sure that everyone who got better started sharing their story about how they got better. Because otherwise, what happens with these things is, because people don't share their story of how they got better, what went along in their journey, they never do that. Everyone just stays hopeless, because all they see is just people stuck. They don't hear the stories of people who got better, because everything everything is completely fixated on the negative. So it was so important to break that cycle. It had to be really optimistic. It had to show that change. And that's what I'm talking about with this negative focus on the doors that are closed. If you're constantly looking for doors that are closed, you could close every door on yourself from the moment you get out of bed. Okay, the second you get out of bed in the morning, you wake up and you think, right, what am I doing today? If you've got that really complete negative mindset, which is very much a part of OCD, or just most humans have got this mindset anyway, in general, because we're always sort of speaking negatively to ourselves. What happens is everything is a negative cycle. Everything. You could say, right, I'm too tired, I'm too lethargic, I can't work out, my back hurts, I'm not energetic enough to do any work. Shall I go and see some friends? Can't be bothered. What's the point? And then you could just shut every single door on moving forward. Instead, you could have a really high optimistic outlook. You could say, wait a minute, today's like a new life. I've got a chance to change this. I can really go against everything. I can go and work out. I can go and see friends. I should just give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? People do it in situations nowhere near, with much more difficult situations in their life going on than mine, and they still manage it.